We took Joe's advice and came back on a Wednesday night. As I walked in the door, the room was full of people. I recognized Anthony J. Hilder from Radio Free America, Norio Hayakawa, and many other television crews were present. Later, George Knapp from KLAS and a camera crew would show up, along with John Lear and Bob Lazar.
We gathered here tonight not to discuss so much whether or not there is saucer activity at Groom Lake and Papoose Lake. Thanks to individuals like Bill Cooper, Gary Schultz, Norio Hayakawa, Bob Lazar, that's a matter of fact. It's a given. That's not the purpose of our gathering here tonight. We know that the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, the Skull and Bones,
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go wild.
I'm sure they are. I don't know. I didn't see the web.
Number 322.
The outdoor part of it was indoor, so we only got to see the outdoor part.
Right.
We only got to, and to listen to the outdoor part. God only knows what went on indoors.
And what did you hear? What was it you know? You managed to get this unique
It was disgusting. It was gross. I mean, they were pretending to murder people. And
what was the tone of it, though? Was it jokey?
No, it wasn't jokey at all. It was sick. It's not the only way to describe it. It was sick.
What you're hearing is the first recording ever made of the Skull and Bones initiation ceremony. It has never been broadcast before. 15 new members of the club are being introduced into the macabre rituals of Skull and Bones by the senior students who are about to graduate. The club has what some might see as a strange fascination with death, skulls and bones. There's the chant too, difficult to hear first of all, but including the devil equals death, death equals death.
He knew what was happening, and he attempted to warn us when he left office. He told us, quite bluntly, and in no uncertain terms, to beware of the military-industrial complex. And who is the military-industrial complex? It is the members of the Council on Foreign Relations, and since the inception of the Trilateral Commission as well.
The Council on Foreign Relations, I don't know. I'm an official member. I spoke with them. It basically is just a forum where a bunch of people talk about foreign policy.
It was made up of the Executive Committee of the Council on Foreign Relations. Now, it is extremely significant that you understand that the first 6 members from the government, along with President Eisenhower, were also members and longtime members of the Council on Foreign Relations. They believed in that organization. They believed in its goals, which was one world government.
Yeah, the only hardcore thing is that there is an extremely classified document dealing with religion. Why would there be any classified material dealing with religion? Okay. What does it say? That we're containers. That's how supposedly the aliens look at us, that we are nothing but containers.
One of the driving forces behind this movement, the Illuminati, is the satanic cult movement in this country today. So I began my little journey forward, and one of the matters that I developed information about was an individual I learned about, Aleister Crowley. He likes to have his name pronounced Crowley to rhyme with holy. And the Satanists today, and for the number of years in the past, have basically used his philosophy and his writings as a guide.
He had so many Masonic degrees that you could fill up 5 pages of a book with them. This guy was probably the most highly honored Mason in the world. He styled himself the wickedest man in the world. He believed himself to be the great beast. and he changed his name to Aleister Crowley, so it would add up in both English, Hebrew, and Greek Kabbalah as 666. In 1904, Crowley had a communication with an extraterrestrial being named Iwas. And this being, through his wife, kind of a channeling type operation, brought forth a book that was called the Book of the Law in 1904. And this book declared that the slain and risen God, i.e. Jesus, had stepped off the throne, and that a new God, the crowned and conquering child, was taking his place. As a result of this, Crowley proclaimed the end of Christianity and the start of Crowianity. Crowley taught that the way you could live forever was by vampirizing little children sexually. And he personally bragged of having slaughtered 150 male children in 1 year. This is why he was called the wickedest man in the world.
And now listen to this sentence, folks. For the highest spiritual working, one must accordingly choose that victim which contains the greatest and purest force. A male child of perfect innocence and high intelligence is the most satisfactory and suitable system. We're talking about human sacrifices.
And they'd also drug them up, and they'd take a sacrificial knife and they'd start from the chest and move all the way down to your abdomen. And then that's how they sacrificed, and they'd collect the blood and they'd drink it. When the mid-September through mid-November, they sacrificed babies, and nothing but babies, because they need the pure blood of the untainted children. And I didn't understand what it was like, because I can't believe I'm seeing this every year of my life. I've experienced that, and that was the hardest part for me. It's like hearing those babies literally scream and cry, and then seeing their blood flow.
The little boy was taken to a basement. He was crucified alive. First he was skinned. Why is it that no one knows this?
Because there's Satanists in the police force and also in the government, the army. They're everywhere. They're even on the council of the representatives of the United States also. And they're silenced because this is not being exposed, because they don't want it to be exposed, because they're really good at lying and hiding things.
Rebecca, what happens to the people that want to come out of Satanism?
They get killed. They get followed. They get taken. They get sacrificed in front of the congregation of the Satanic Church.
Why?
Because they know too much information about the Satanists and who their names and places of where they keep the people underground, and they just know too much information. It's like being in a gang or in a mafia. You don't get out alive without consequences.
The chief advisor to Queen Elizabeth I, Sir John Dee, he was a Kabbalistic black magician. He had gone to the continent and learned from the top Jewish Kabbalists black magic, and he was the chief advisor in the British Empire. And he created Enochian magic and the Enochian language, which the Illuminati, which are hiding behind the Jehovah's Witness headquarters, they use Enochian rituals. Sir John Dee conjured up demons or angels, okay, with his black magic. The beings that he conjured up, there were pictures shown of them, and they look identical to what we call gray aliens. Okay, I tell you something. And then I visit with debriefing people that came out of high levels of the Illuminati, and these different types of aliens are participating in Illuminati rituals.
Anthony went into great detail about the secret societies and groups that really control this country and who may be in secret possession of this technology which we call UFOs.
Medical experiments are being performed on human beings. I don't know how many of you think about this, but if we do nothing, if we say nothing, if we don't speak up now, we may have a world that is controlled by individuals in this new world order who are in league with the devil.
The police found the subversive documents on his body and turned them over to the proper government authorities. After careful study of the plot, the Bavarian government ordered the police to raid Weishaupt's newly organized lodges of the Grand Orient and the homes of some of the most influential associates. Additional evidence was thus obtained, convinced the authorities that documents were a genuine copy of a conspiracy by which the Synagogue of Satan had controlled the Illuminati at the top, planned to use wars and revolutions to bring about the establishment of one kind or another of a one-world government, the powers of which they intended to usurp as soon as it was established.
Good God, he's been on this for as long as I've known. His book, Behold the Pale Horse, is phenomenal.
Prominent men, meeting in secret, who directed the course of civilization, are recorded in the writings of all people. The oldest is the Brotherhood of the Snake, also called the Brotherhood of the Dragon, and it still exists under many different names. The Brotherhood of the Snake is devoted to guarding the secrets of the ages and to the recognition of Lucifer as the one and only true God. If you do not believe in God, Lucifer, or Satan, you must understand that there are great masses of people who do, and their beliefs and actions based upon those beliefs will affect me. The important fact to remember is that the leaders of both the right and the left are a small, hardcore of men who have been and still are Illuminists or members of the Brotherhood. They may have been or may be members of the Christian or Jewish religion, but that is only to further their own ends. They are, and always have been, Luciferian and internationalists. They give allegiance to no particular nation, although they have used, on occasion, nationalism to further their causes. Their only concern is to gain greater economic and political power. The ultimate objective of the leaders of both groups is identical. They are determined to win for themselves undisputed control of the wealth, natural resources, and manpower of the entire planet. They intend to turn the world into their conception of a Luciferian totalitarian socialist state. In the process, they will eliminate all Christians, Jews, and atheists. You have just learned one, but only one, of the great mystery.
It is not going to happen, it is happening.
Some people in this world are about to destroy the sovereignty of nations, take away our Bill of Rights. The UFO thing is integrally tied into this in some way. I'm not exactly sure how, but if extraterrestrials are real, then they're controlling everything, believe me. If they're not real, they're being used as a threat from without to scare people into coming into this one world global unity of humanity in order to face that external threat. In the process, we'll lose. The ordinary man will lose.
If there's a reality out there pertaining to any alien influence, we need to sort out the government misinformation and disinformation and mind manipulation techniques that they're using. I know for a fact that the plan is to make all of us feel totally helpless. That what's happening is beyond our realm to affect because we've been taken over by aliens. That our Independence Day is dawning. So beware of that. Understand that those criminals have been keeping information and technology from us under their blanket of national security. They are 25 years ahead of us at least. They're way ahead. So when they say, it's aliens, and they show us some incredible technology, don't fall into the trap of feeling totally helpless, that this is beyond our realm to affect. Superstition begins where knowledge leaves off. And they have been keeping knowledge from us for a long time. People have all kinds of belief systems. And I'm sure each and every one of you has various and different belief systems as well. I'm not saying that there's no such thing as aliens. That would be foolish of me to even say anything like that at all. But what I am saying is that it was my experience that these were people claiming to be aliens.
I had heard it on the radio about 2 or 3 weeks before on Tom Lange's KFIs and Valley Radio talk shows, and that's what got my wheels turning. And then, when I heard him speak, he really got my attention when I learned there was a place that I could go to see these craft. And I thought, well, this is simple enough. I'll go there and perform that simple test. And besides, I had been told by Stan Barrington, Bill Cooper's close friend, that it's a crapshoot every time you go out. And although on some nights you will see nothing, on other nights you'll go out and all hell will break loose. We went, and nobody was there. We were it. And suddenly, at 7:30 p.m., the first saucer came up. And I was sitting in a lawn chair beside the car, and I about jumped out. I was ready. I had my camera in hand, and I jumped up and started flashing away. 5 more saucers came up. And that photograph is a result of the closest encounter with one of those 6 saucers that night. And I was convinced.
Finally ended, it was about 2 o'clock in the morning, Thursday morning, and those of us who were participating in the expedition scrambled for our vehicles. Approximately 8 other cars followed us out to the base of the mountain.